Warning, this video contains spoilers for Dragon Age Inquisition.
Kill the Inquisitor.
It's been 2 years since the Inquisition proved itself an organization everyone in Thedas could respect.
You act as if you're the solution to every problem. How long before you drag us into another war?
That time is over.
Something must be done, but we cannot lose the
Here we go.
Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Canary.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
We apologize for not informing the summit beforehand. We were concerned.
Not good.
Of course you were! The Canary spies were inside your organization!
Let's see the final.
Without our organization, you would not be allowed to complain.
Okay. Frame rate is dropping.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
And you want to dismantle us.
If
Because
the
of
Inquisition
that.
is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Inquisitor.
Okay, what do we have here? Like a... Whew! Series of choices. Our work is done, the Inquisition will be disbanded, efforts against Solas will be weaker, but more secure. We'll solve this ourselves, the Inquisition will be disbanded, efforts against Solas will be weaker, but more secure. The Inquisition needs to end, efforts against Solas will be weaker, but more secure. We need more oversight. The Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against souls will be stronger, but risk corruption. We will keep the peace. Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against souls will be stronger, but they risk corruption. So we have corruption on this side, and some kind of oversight of the Divine. And on this side we have disbanded. Inquisition disbanded, but weaker efforts against Solas, but more secure. I'd rather go with this side. Aggressive response, kind of like good response, and what? Crying response. we need more oversight. Risk corruption. Why does risk corruption if we want oversight? Difficult one. I would like this one when it comes to organization itself. Position will be disbanded. I haven't built. The thing is, I wanted to build this force for something, for a purpose. Now we have a purpose, that we have a freaking elven god who might try to destroy the world, even if it doesn't bring any joy to him. He sees that as a necessity. I don't think this side appeals to me, especially how I created Livia as a character. This one sounds good in the line. We serve the Divine, not you. You know, the Divine is Liliana. She was a part of the organization. Can always try to appeal to that, even if she is somehow, you know, entangled in the politics. We will keep peace doesn't sound good. We need more oversight. There is corruption. On the other hand, aggressive response isn't exactly the best you can do here, so I think we'll go with this. The Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against Solas will be stronger, but the risk of corruption is there.
You all know what this is? A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition.
Oh crap. She lost the hand.
We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval.
That was her choice.
You're right, Altegan, we are dangerous. We've been deceived and we've made mistakes. You're right as well, Duke Cyril. These are the growing pains of a young organization in need of guidance.
Okay. There's only
But
one
you
person.
would both have the Inquisition bow to your agenda, and that is precisely what we cannot do. The Inquisition will act as Divine Victoria's personal honor guard. Answering directly to her, we will transition from a military force into a peacekeeping organization. My own adventuring days may be done, but the Inquisition and its mission will continue.
Yeah, she lost the hand, right? It's hard for someone who's mained to do more in some way. Nice clothes, I believe, for the Inquisitor. The character is alive, has something to... oh crap. I think that something is wrong here. Okay, cool. Haha, the book! Varric finished another story, right? Cool. And there is a premise for a next game. Camera, I would like you to focus. There is the green glow. Will we have any kind of slideshow to end? That's a good question. Over the next several months, the Inquisition carefully gave over many of the duties it had held. As the Divine's personal guard, the peacekeeping force, the Inquisition shrank to a more manageable size. That's cool. Many who had served went home. Through the remaining forces was still enough to give pause to any who might threaten the Divine's plan. That's cool. Those who served the new Inquisition were tested and checked thoroughly in the hope of ferreting out any more spies within its ranks. With the dragon's breath disrupted, any new hope of a swift victory dashed. The Canary retreated back to the north. Few knew what debates were waged in Parvalen, but not long after the Exalted Council, the Canary launched new attacks against Tevinter. So they switched. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium of God. Tevinter was soon mired in a war many feared could spread across Thedas. Not surprised there. The Exalted Council remained intact, advising Divine Victoria on important matters. Cassandra served for several years. They finally learned you have to have those things. While she often disagreed with Alliance politics, the former right and left hand of the Divines shared a mutual respect and worked well together. I think this slideshow, they finally realized that they needed. With Inquisition at an end, as in once had been, the few surviving mages who had served in it found themselves with nowhere to go. The Divine had declared the circle over, but something needed to take its place. And that's where Vivienne comes in, right? Vivienne led many of the old gods to form a new circle, surprisingly absolutely no one when it immediately elected her as its Grand Enchanter. So they created something like a circle of their own. The remaining of the Inquisition's veteran mages formed the rival organization, the College of Enchanters. Holy crap, the music is so gorgeous. The two institutions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the south, waving for power, or heaving for power. After the Exalted Council, Liliana devoted herself fully to the Sunburst throne and her dream of reshaping the Chantry. Good. Within a year, she removed restrictions surrounding Chantry's priesthoods, allowing men and women of all races to be initiated and ordained. Cool. Reforms. The decree was followed swiftly by her decision to return the Sentinel of Sharton to the canonical chant, a move that divided Andrastians deeply. A rebellion to renounce her and return the Chantry to its former state arose, beginning first in Orlais, then spreading to other parts of Thedas. So a schisma, divide in the church. As quickly as it began, the rebellion faltered. We have those people down here representing that here, I believe. While most agreed that the rebellion collapsed due to infighting, some whispered that the Divine herself engineered its failure. That might be possible. The rebellion fractured into a number of separated cells, some of which limped on for several months before disappearing into obscurity. So that's the future of the Chantry. While the Inquisition now serves the Divine, Sarah returned to the singular and plural role of Red Jenny. So she's doing the same thing, helping the poor, small guys, small folk, because nobility and grammar could both still eat it. Nice. She's not the best of the characters in the Inquisition, I believe. Many noted how Sarah's methods had changed after seeing the Inquisitor stand for everyone. So we had an impact on her personality, it seems. This Red Jenny was more focused, tactical, and more, dare to say, effective. That's good. It's always good. Who's next? She and her network could also be counted on to act in the interest of the supposedly dusk-bound Inquisitor. Cool. Sarah remained a formidable ally of allies intent on proving that the powerful weren't and that it was friends who mattered over all. With frequent visits to her widow, of course. Okay, don't know exactly who that is. Will recall that. Perhaps most unnerving was Sarah's standing offer to the Divine. And that offer is? Tell me. When the noble piss about which you left hand or right, call on Red Jenny to give them 2 fingers. Okay. She stayed in Orlais, I think. Varric took upon the role of the Viscount and, with the help of his friend Hawk, who built Kirkwall damaged infrastructure. Cool, Hawk and Varric rule Kirkwall. Good. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as its major trade hub of the Free Marches. God damn it, this is touching. They still do have that. Under his rule, he continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchant Guild and the Prince of Starkhaven. Okay. After the Inquisition transitions to a peacekeeping role, Colin continued to serve as commander of its forces. That's cool. So that's him. Under his leadership, the Inquisition protected the Divine's interests while enforcing new standards of security. That's good, I think. Colin also expanded the Chantry's treatments for Templars whose minds were taken by lyrium, as well as those who wished to seize lyrium usage. That's his personal quest. And as the chaos reigned in the north and threats to the Divine lurked in every shadow, Colin remained ready to serve. Makes sense. Dorian returned to Tevinter to take his father's place in the Magisterium. And we have a woman there. He looks older here. As rumors fled among the Imperium in fighting, Dorian was spoken of often as a voice of resistance against corruption. Makes sense. Along with Magister Mivaris Tilani, he formed a group called the Lucerni to restore and redeem Tevinter, a fight many thought hopeless. Yeah, they are a difficult bunch. Those fighting the Magister Pavus side noted that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisitor via message crystal. Whenever for vital information or for more moral support, these talks seemed to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight. After the Exalted Council, Tom Rainier bid farewell to his friends and went to Weishaupt Fortress to pledge himself to the Grey Wardens for good. While he was rarely seen in the years that followed, some said that encountered Rainier in far-flung lands, then their accounts always are similar. Rainier carried out the duties of the Wardens, but always found time to help others along the way. Makes sense considering his personality. Considering how many characters we have to go through. Sometimes he served as a shield for the defenseless, other times he spread single cheers among children with gifts of small carved toys. After easing the Inquisition's transition into the Chantry, Josephine returned to Antiva and her family. Okay. Another place I would really love to see. Thanks to the Inquisition's help, the Monteliers were once again prominent to trade in Orlais. Yeah, we helped with that. The next few years were a busy time as many ships with the Montelier crest were built and sent sail again from Antiva's harbors. She loved the harbor. She said that in one of the conversations. Soon the remaining pirates captains with an ancient feud against Josephine's ancestors took to the sea, determined to rekindle the rivalry. Apart from Josephine's sister Yvette, nearly eloping with a dashing pirate prince, on one occasion Lady Montelier took the development in stride. Cole returned to the faith, saying that there was more pain coming and that he knew where compassion would be most needed. So he left us. Okay, he promised that his friends in the Inquisition would remember him, and that where the hurt was greatest he would help. After the events of the Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances and did elven servants across Thedas. None could say where they went, but those who believed the Inquisitor's story about Van Herel wondered just how large the Dreadwolf's forces were. So they left, okay? And what the ancient elven rebel had planned. Okay. Lavalan sometimes came awake from dreams in which her lover watched her sadly from across an endless distance. We're finishing. If they were more than simple dreams, she could not say, for every time she reached for him, he vanished into nothing. If they were more than simple dreams, still she searched and dreamed and waited for a way to change the Red Wolf's heart. And here we go. Without the hand.
My agents have found nothing. With the illusion anywhere.
Maintaining the Inquisition, even as a peacekeeping force, leaves us vulnerable to agents of the Dread Wolf.
But also gives us the strength to respond.
We will need to be careful.
Yeah.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
Tevinter Imperium! Finally! We're moving with the story to the north. Because this is a hint, I'm quite sure. Laidlaw is not the type of guy who doesn't see that. Ah, nice, nice, really beautiful. They do have the passion, they do have the talent. This DLC is the best one I played in many years, I believe. Whew! Ah, that was a nice one. It really is nice. Ah. I like the premise that is going from this into the future. I'll most possibly do more videos about this, because you know not everyone watches these Let's Plays, and after things like this, the credits, you always have a few moments when your head is still very hot with information and your emotions are high. Music is gorgeous, the characters are there, the story is there. I'm quite sure that the next person who will be the lead in this great series of games, because as much as I can criticize them for some decisions they did from a design point of view, the stories, the characters are really something something they have to admire when it comes to Dragon Age. They have a pretty nice group of talented people doing pretty stuff. What do I expect from the next Dragon Age? I will most possibly do a video about that. Inquisition is it's not on par with Origins. That is something I have to underline. But at the same time, it has its own qualities. After playing this game, after playing the DLCs, playing the game twice, I have to say there is something in here, the value that you really feel coming. Okay, I'm leaving you with the credits because I believe these people, with the whole amount of work they always bring into the project.
A new book. All this shit is weird. Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking?
Great. Anything else I wanted to add? Well, I'm full of appreciation.
Rolling sea on a dark and stormy night, centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere.
I'll shut up now.
A hole that spit up many things that day: comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition.
Oh, really, really beautiful.
The din of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. Not playing, weirdy, she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a robe. Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you for watching.
The court enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wineglass. She sized me up with a glance. I'm so glad you made it, my dear, she said. I am Madame de Fair, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet. Liliane enfolded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. I always knew I could count on your support. The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. Even if it requires your death. Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. The silverite wings of valor, they mean nothing. He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic. Cole moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone. That makes as much sense as anything Cole says. Do you place your herald above the law, ambassador? Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law. We left our mark on adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning. If you'd caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double. What is even happening here? The Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sins. Come on, he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually. The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair. This isn't just a war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war. Cullen! That's Cullen! class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian. He glared. D-O-R-I-A-N. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time. A toad? That's hardly credible. The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. "You're crazy!" the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh, Varric. Wait, where am I? I don't... Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful. "Varric, I was wrong about everything," she sobbed. "Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me?" That dwarf, he put me in the book! I'm in the book! I am reading the shit out of this!